Yep, Teresa Daly, lifestyle mentor here at Nala Pakana. Today you have me in my office, and this is where I do a lot of my online consultations with people on a Wednesday or a Thursday. And this morning I had the bright idea of doing a little tarot spread for you, nice and live, so that you could see how it works from the office when I do online consultations. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to use the world and the situation and how things are in the world at the moment. I'm not sure exactly what's going to come through, of course, because I think that applies to all of us. So we're going to have a look at three questions. We're going to have a look at what's the situation. Then we're going to have a look at what's the challenge. And we're also going to have a look at what the outcome is. So we're only going to be using 4 cards to do this. It's very powerful. Whenever we do this type of consulting with our inner self, whenever we do any of this work, what we're doing is we're not just looking at what's going on in the world and the answers that we get. We're also looking at the answers that we get are very much going to be answers for yourself. So as we go through this, keep in mind that although I'm tuning into and tapping into the energy of the world at the moment, keep in mind that the answers that you're getting are in relation to you. So this is also a reading for you, and it'll be very spot on, it'll be very powerful. Now, I want to clarify that tarot readings and the work that I do not predict the future. This is not about predicting the future. This is providing a roadmap so that and confirmation and whatnot, so that you can see what's going on, you can have a better understanding. And I like to look at it as not having to operate or live in the dark. If you have any questions whatsoever, please send them to me. I can't answer them straight away because I'm busy doing this, but I will certainly look at them later. If you have something private you want to ask me or send to me, you can send a direct message to the page. You'll also probably find my email address there if that's how you need to contact me. And of course, if you'd like to work with me one-on-one with some lifestyle mentoring, I am available Wednesdays and Thursdays online, and you can book through the Nala Pakana Facebook page. So I am ready to get started. So I'm just going to move this camera now down to where I have the cards sitting on the desk, which is what I would do in a consultation. So bear with me. Down we go. Right. There we go. Okay. Sorry. It's a bit tricky getting it started. So now just relax. Breathe and relax. Okay. Now, I set the intention hours ago, so we know what the intention is. These are beautiful, very simple guidance cards, and I love them, and they work well because I'm an intuit. So the way that I work is I intuit all the information, but I love working with the tarot cards too because it allows you to see a little bit about what I can feel and see. Okay, so I'm just getting the feeling I need to go just a little bit longer. I'm just giving them a little shuffle. You see there? A little bit longer. And okay, all right, so just relaxing. Okay, so that's going to be the situation, that's going to be the challenge, and that's going to be the outcome. Let's put those aside. Okay, so what we have here is the card of enchantment. Just bear with me with this camera, I always get it a bit funny. It's kind of like reversing a trailer. I move it towards and everything's backwards. Anyway, so the situation is enchantment. And what's going on at the moment is that we're all in a case, in a situation of enchantment. We're all enchanted. I mean, I remember one of the films I loved when I was a child was Brigadoon. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's a very old film. And about this town that appears only once every 100 years. And these two Scottish men, are hiking, and they get lost in the fog, and then when the fog clears, Brigadoon is there, this town, and they end up falling in love with these girls. And anyway, but they're sort of like in this place of enchantment, and with old folklore and fairy tales that people get enchanted and they follow the light, they follow the music, they follow the mermaids, and they end up wrecking their ship and whatever. So what this card is telling me about the situation that we're all in right now is to be very aware of enchantment, to be very aware that everything that's going on at the moment, it isn't what it seems. So, if you believe dead set it's one way, it's not entirely one way. If you believe dead set it's another way, it's not entirely another way. And so my feeling around all of this, is that we really, really, really need to stay connected to our intuition and connected to what we feel is right. And I had an email today offering this exact advice. It was so funny, and I thought, oh my goodness, this is exactly what I think, which was another confirmation. So just be aware that we're all in a state of enchantment, and to not believe everything we see and hear. To trust your inner light more than anything else. Okay, so the challenge around that, and this is what it's offering us, is it's offering us reflection. So this is a card, this is reflection. So this is offering us, you can see that these women are looking at their reflection in a pool perhaps. And what we can do in this time is it's a very interesting time, because on the one hand, there are a lot of people very angry and very frustrated and very, very scared that their lives will never be the same and that their freedoms will be taken away. And it's pretty full on stuff. And then at the other hand, I had a client yesterday who was despairing because she'd been in lockdown for so bloody long. And she just found out she had another, like, until November or something to go. And so she said, on the one hand, she's in lockdown for weeks on end and she lives on her own and it's so quiet, and there's just, how many hours a day can you sew and whatnot before the novelty wears off. So there's this real stillness about everything, and yet there's this real turmoil. There's both. And I was saying to her, that this is a perfect time for her to carry on with reflection. And I think it is for all of us. The energy at the moment and the way things are at the moment, it's really a great time to reflect, to get the answers that we need. So, that might be reflecting on your health and your diet. It may be reflecting on your living situation and whether you're happy and whether you want to continue living like that. Your work situation, or even the way that you cut your hair, even the way that you deal with life. This is a time where we can really reflect on how things are and how we want things to be, so that when things do change, and they most certainly are going to change, we will have done this reflection and we will know how we want to go forward. Okay, so the outcome, all right, so the outcome is we're seeing a mystic and we're seeing love. So the outcome of this is that even though we are all living with such uncertainty and such fear, such disbelief or hatred or anxiety or sadness, despair, or whatever, we have so much happening in the world at the moment with this whole COVID business, and then the Taliban and the environment and climate change, and it's some pretty heavy stuff. The outcome of all of this is going to be a greater connection with our own intuition. And I think our collective intuition, so not just your individual intuition, but how we all will have a better connection to our intuition. All of us will, in some way or another. That will lift the frequency. Every individual frequency will be lifted up, and then that collective frequency will be lifted up, which will bring us to a place of far more love. I think we're going to see some beautiful changes coming. I don't know where in the world you're watching this, but here in Australia, we're pretty unkind to refugees. We're pretty unkind to the environment in many ways. We can be very racist as a people, particularly towards our First Nations, Indigenous people. We can be quite nasty, and I think that every country has this sort of situation going on in some way. And what we're going to do is, as we all do this reflection, we work out what's going on, we lift our individual frequencies, we're going to have a collected lifted frequency. So our collective intuition is going to be stronger, and our ability to love is going to be stronger. So what you're going to be seeing is not just an ability to love others, but to love our Mother Earth and our environment and our oceans and the air and all the rest, but to love ourselves. So what's going to come out of all of this is a deep love for ourselves, because we will have reflected and we will truly understand ourselves as we are, not in a self-improvement sort of way, but as you are, to truly love and see yourself as you are, as I see you, which is this beautiful being of pure light. You know, that's what we all are. So that's what's going to come out of this. I'm going to move the camera back so I can talk to you again. Back up here. Righto. There I am again. There you are. Lovely to see you. So there we go. So there's a little short reading on where we're at the moment in the world, what's going on, what the challenge is, and what's coming up. Of course, you can rewatch this as you need to get a better understanding. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. Don't forget that little reading is not just for all of us on planet Earth at the moment, but it's for you as an individual, for me as an individual. And it gives me great hope to see what came through today, to understand that everything that's happening, of course, is happening for a reason, and that this is a time for me to reflect, as it's a time for you and everybody else to reflect. And this is a time after this reflection where we're going to have an emergence with a greater collective intuition and dealing with things with a lot more love. So as I said, here in Australia, I think we'll be seeing a lot more love and understanding towards refugees, towards First Nations, towards the environment. So hang in there, especially if you're in lockdown and it's very hard for you. Hang in there and know that this will pass and things will be better. What you need to do is to love yourself, be kind to yourself, and relax, have faith, and know that all is well. And use this time for reflection. Use this time to reflect on your diet, to reflect on your connection to the animal world, your connection to the plant and nature world, to the Davic kingdom. Use this time to reflect on connection. If you want to work with me one-on-one, I just absolutely love working with people. I'm available Wednesdays and Thursdays online. I do 1-hour appointments usually. And I would love to work with you, and I would love to help you to reflect, to delve deeper, and to see what's going on in your life and what you can change so that when we emerge out of this stage, you can really emerge into what you need to do. So thank you for joining me live at lunchtime from my little bush office today. I love you. I hope you love yourself just as much. Have a gorgeous day, and I'll see you soon. Now I've got to try and turn this thing off. Bye.